Since I was 6, I've been the sickest, but they must have forgot. I ain't finna tell you how I'm coming, won't you sit back and watch? This for the ones who always talking, tryna play on my talk. I already had that nigga that you rebounding got. I'm from that wreck, I ain't with all of that. The shots I'm calling it.
What it do? What's happening with you, Jeffrey? But not for real. Hello, spiritual sirens. You know, your bestie is back. Faith. But, y'all, this past week has been crazy. Let me make sure this is the mic on, because y'all gonna want to hear this. You feel me? It's been a crazy past couple weeks for me. Enemy is working hard, but God works harder and more efficiently, let me tell you. Because I'm not gonna lie, a lot of things I've been experiencing within these past couple weeks have been revealing a lot to me that I knew, but I have a bad habit of self-sacrificing myself for the benefit of others, for people who didn't even do the same for me. And you know what? God taught me the hard way, because I can be a little stubborn, to clip before I got clipped. If you know, you know. But, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't give none of that stuff attention because there's no point. All of it is literally just illusions and distractions. I think, the next day after this one, I'm about to tell you a little bit about it, I'm not gonna mention any particulars, just for the sake of keeping safe, because this is stuff that happens every day to a lot of people, and it's like, when we don't take it seriously enough, because, you know, we're not always faced with, you know, life endangering situations, or just situations in general, like, we can get a little bit over ourselves. Not necessarily, because, you know, God protects those who listen, because all he's going to do is tell you to prepare you, and then you can avoid it if you choose to do so, because we do have what? Free will, right? So if we have free will, what does that mean? That means God gives us decisions, and those decisions will lead us towards either the path that he is already destined for us, because yes, he already knows our story, but at the end of the day, he gives us the choice to write our story with him. So think of it like God giving you 2 scripts, right? Or you have 1 script. Kind of like the interactive movies that Netflix has, right? So the interactive movies, what they'll do is they'll have like a scene, and then they'll give you 2 options for the scenes. Each option will give you a different outcome. But unlike in real life, you can go back in the scenes on the movie. In real life, you make your decisions and you have to stand on them. And that's what a lot of people don't do. And a lot of people tend to blame outside sources, like the devil or whatever. But I'm just like, the devil might have presented you that option, but you chose it. You feel what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, a lot of people like to blame their sins on an outside force other than themselves, because a lot of people lack accountability. It's a lot easier to blame the world for your issues when you can't see outside of yourself to see what you are creating yourself. A lot of the decisions and the outcomes that we deal with are because of ourselves. Be so for real. You feel what I'm saying? A lot of people like to run and hide from accountability, but you can't, babe. Because at the end of the day, God gives you decisions, and he also gives you repercussions for the decisions, if they're not ones that you're choosing for your greatest good. That's why me, bro, I don't trip about a thing. Cause big things popping, little things stopping. Y'all can't stop nothing over here. Y'all can't stop not a damn thing. You feel what I'm saying? Because I am protected because I chose to live my life out with my purpose. So I'm not just making decisions on a day-to-day just to make them for my own selfish, desires. I'm doing something greater than myself, so I'm always gonna be good. And I wish people would listen to me, because I be warning people, God does not play about me. God do not play about me. I be telling folks, just leave me alone. I don't bother nobody. I mind my business. I read my scripture. I share my scripture. I share some love and sprinkle a little wisdom on top of it. If you don't want to hear it, don't ask me. Because one thing about me, I'm not going to give my unsolicited opinion. I have learned in my spiritual journey, there was a time, definitely a time where I was trying to save everyone, because I saw that everyone has the same potential that I have. You feel what I'm saying? Because we all have the creator within us. So we all have max capability, but you decide whether or not you will choose to be equipped for that capability. Yes, you can have potential, but potential is wasted every day by dreamers that just dream and don't act. That's what confidence is. That's really what confidence is. Putting your thoughts into action. So it's like a lot of people lack confidence because they lack knowing of self. How can you be confident in a person that you don't know? But a lot of people don't know themselves because it's a lot easier to hide and run from yourself and your responsibilities. Okay. Come on now. It's a lot easier to run from yourself and your responsibilities than to face them. And that's why I have a lot of compassion for people, because I'm just like, you're just a scared little kid running from your problems. Literally. Just a scared little kid acting like a kid. And I'm just like, I used to be a scared little kid once. It took me a long time to stop being a scared little kid. And it's going to take other people a long time to stop being a scared little kid. But it's a choice. If you choose to live in fear, then you will be surrounded by fear. Because the universe, God, Creator, does not give you what you want. Give you what you are. So if you are showing yourself to be irresponsible, vicious, just weird, then you're going to continue to be surrounded by situations that represent such. You know what I'm saying? Your reality is a direct reflection of what is in here, because what is in here is also what is within here. People forget we are spirits living a human experience. None of this shit matters, okay? Every single thing that you endure and you grow through is simply for your growth, to cultivate you into being who you are supposed to be. So if you keep hiding from that growth and not facing your issues, what can God do? Why is he gonna give you an opportunity that you will squander when he has another child praying just as hard and actually equipping themselves? That's the difference. That's the difference. A lot of people prefer to go with the woe is me mentality when a lot of times we do everything to ourselves. And yes, it's not necessarily our faults, because there are things that most of our actions derive from, traumas that we went through as kids. But at the end of the day, you choose what you will experience. And if you choose things that don't make you happy, you will forever be miserable. Let's just be frank. And I say that with love, because why would you want that for yourself? If you have the ability to choose to be happy, even though it hurts for a moment in time, why choose the rather because it feels good for a moment in time? Everybody's looking for short-term gratification with no long-term plans. And that's why people get stuck in that short-term gratification. Then they get stuck in cycles and create more cycles and get themselves even further down the rabbit hole that they opened. Instead of facing ourselves, facing why we do the things that we do. Why do we, you know what I'm saying? Just take a second to think. Like when you get hot, when you get angry, why am I so angry? Why is someone outside of myself able to control my emotions to this degree? I need to get my eyebrows done, y'all. I've been wolfing for a little bit because I cut them. But yeah, I need to get my eyebrows done. But let me get started. I'm gonna keep talking, but let me get started, y'all. Y'all already know we gonna start it off with the skin. But not for real. This is my Poreless Tarte primer, mattifying primer. I've been into like a dewy mix type of look lately because I do have, or I used to have really oily skin. I have like combination skin. I moisturized right before this. Please moisturize your skin and wash your face before you put on more stuff. Like that's why a lot of people have like, well, not just that. A lot of people don't really realize that what you put into your body matters. And I speak about this all the time on my social media. Cause me, bro, I used to be, cause I've done both sides. Now, I'm not gonna lie. The most exercise I do is taking my little baby Ella for a walk. You know what I'm saying? But I'm probably not necessarily the best shape I've ever been, but really the best shape I've ever been. Maybe not the most toned, but that's all about preference. I'm not really a tone girl. Like I will have my moments where my body changes and I like to look a little bit more toned, or I like to look a little bit softer. That's all up to you. Everybody's always chasing someone else's body instead of finding ways to be comfortable in our own and do what makes us feel best. Because when you feel good, you look good. People forget like preference is really just based off of, it's so fickle, because what you like today you might not like tomorrow. So why press yourself to chase after something outside of yourself once again, and that might not even be what you want in a couple months or in a couple hours? You feel what I'm saying? Yeah, we're gonna spritz a little bit. I hope that doesn't get on the camera. Y'all, I got this little purple fam. I love purple. Purple's for royalty, and y'all already know. Your girl, the Nubian queen. Yeah. I should sing for y'all one of these days. Maybe I'll put a little excerpt. 'Cause I am in love with you. You set me free. I can't do this thing called life without you here with me. I be getting a little lonely sometimes, guys. But maybe I just need to get Ella a little friend, cause I be a little lonely, don't mean she need to be a little lonely. But yeah, no, what am I gonna do next? So I'm gonna pull out my Laura Mercier Ultra Blur powder, loose powder. I love this stuff because it looks a lot like my skin tone, and I don't really like wearing foundation because it's just a lot on my skin. I have really sensitive, not really sensitive skin, but it's just like, I just don't want to do too much. And look what I did. Too much. Please don't forget to blow the excess off. This is fine because whatever, my forehead be oily as hell anyways. Need a little extra. A little extra. A little extra. But yeah, nah. I'm gonna just tap a little bit, rat-tat-tat up on my face to just get a little bit more matte before I start applying everything else. And then after this, oh yeah, y'all, as I said last time, y'all need to start patting with these brushes. Y'all dragging what works for you, baby. But me personally, it just makes more sense to pat the product in because you're patting it into your pores. So it'll be more smooth, like skin. And that's why I like, because I don't like, every now and again, I don't mind a little birthday makeup, but my coverage is pretty good. You know what I'm saying? My coverage is pretty good. So let's go on. back to what I was saying, y'all. Drink your water. People over here talk about celery juice, all this, that, and the third. All that stuff is just feeding your body the nutrients that it needs. That's really, really what's trending right now, is just eating healthy, but people aren't seeing it as that, which is kind of weird to me, but I still understand. Literally, guys, like, what you put into your body matters. I mean, you're always an athlete, but I used to be like every day, because I played basketball from third grade all the way up to my junior year in high school, because I graduated high school a year early. Really, like, I was not eating the best at that time because I had multiple eating disorders I was dealing with. I had really bad anxiety, and I was also diagnosed with depression early in high school. So it was like I wasn't taking care of the inside of my body, but I looked really fit because of how much I was working out for basketball. That's not healthy. You feel what I'm saying? Balance is required in all things, especially your body. Your body is a temple. You know what I'm saying? That's where the Lord dwells. So it's a lot easier to hear his voice inside of you when you're actually taking care of the vessel he's given you, because we forget we are not our bodies. Our bodies are gifts in order to experience all that he has laid out for us. When you die, where's your body go? In the flow. So where your spirit go? Wherever it's supposed to. But the point is, it doesn't stay on earth. So why do we obsess so much about the earthly experience when we are not earthly beings? You feel what I'm saying? Like, it's not even like me being sarcastic. It's just literally. And it's really easy to get caught up in everything that goes on, because that's what we're trained to do. That's what the system trains us to do, because we're not trained to live and experience, especially not in America. We're trained to work till we die. They sell you a dream of da-da-da-da just to get you further and further down a rabbit hole. Because when you're in the rabbit hole, it's hard to see the light outside and all that's in store for you, because you're just so deep in what they've surrounded you with. Don't be a rabbit in a rabbit hole, babe. Jump out there, baby, because you have all the strength and the courage to do so. A lot of times we get comfortable in the rabbit hole because it's secluded. You can see there's only one way out, so there's only one way for things to come in. But it's a lot harder to face your fears and to go out to everything that is all the possibilities, because there are negative and positive experiences out in the world. But when you take the time to learn yourself and learn your capabilities and find strength and solace in those capabilities, it doesn't make it as scary. And when you focus on the good things, not like everything is going to be la-di-da-di-da, but when you focus on what you actually want to see in your life, you start to see it reflect, and that motivates you to continue to look at things from a certain perspective, and then also broaden that perspective. Because a lot of times we're taught to keep such a closed mind and just follow all these general guidelines, whether it be religious, whether it be school, whether it be work, parenting. Everybody assumes that this base guidelines that we're all still learning ourselves is right. But what's right for you? What works for you, not what works for everyone else, because what works for everyone else might not work for you. And that's where a lot of people get stuck, because they keep following the same steps that other people are using for them because it works for them. And then they're not getting the same results. And then we get discouraged. And then when we get discouraged, we get disheartened, and we're like, why are we doing this? And then we start looking for the easy way out to do things. Once again, full circle. It's a lot easier to hide from yourself than to deal with what you've been through and deal with what you've seen and experienced, and recognize that that is not the only thing out in the world. There's so much more beauty than there is darkness. And the more beauty that you yourself put into the world, the more the darkness has to stay at bay, because darkness is still required in some fashion to keep balance, because there is balance in everything. But when we get so focused on the fact that there are dark things happening and instead of what those dark things are trying to teach us, then we don't get the lessons from those dark things, and we get stuck in those cycles instead of learning how to make it beautiful. And it sucks because it takes a long time. I'm blessed because I've been through a lot at a very young age. So it's like I've seen from other people and also seen through myself how things can happen. And because I've seen so much, I now understand that there is another side to that spectrum, and I can choose to go after that side if I want to. I've already experienced the darkness, so why not try and see what's on the light? Why get so scared of what other darkness is out there when I've already been through darkness? I've already been through some shit. You know what I'm saying? I've already been through it. So why keep allowing the same things I've already been through to keep me captive? For why? You know what I'm saying? Why? Why keep yourself captive when there's so much more out there to your disposal? God has put out so much for you, but you can't reach it because you're still reaching from a negative space. You haven't learned what you need to learn. So God putting you in places that you're not prepared for is not only a danger to yourself, but a danger to those people that are actually equipped for it. So if you're wondering why good things aren't happening, it's not necessarily that you don't deserve good things, but you will inherently be a negative placement in a positive space because you haven't dealt with your negativity. That's what's the hard part, because we don't want to deal with our negativity. It's hard because dealing with your negativity means re-feeling all those emotions, re-dissecting why you went through what you went through. You know what I'm saying? And it's hard. It's really, really, really hard. And that's why I try to learn to give other people grace, because of the grace I show myself. I was not always like, oh, this is my Patrick Ta blush. Y'all, look at her. She comes with cream and powder. Just so pretty. So pretty. But, what was I saying? Like, yeah, it's scary. Because after a while, the darkness becomes comfortable. So it's not necessarily the darkness that we get stuck in, it's the content. Because it's comfortable, it feels safe. Your body recognizes it as safe because it's what you're already used to. But why not introduce yourself to something better and allow your body to get used to that? Because we forget, like, trauma affects the nervous system. That's why a lot of, like, mental health issues, like depression and stuff, that's why you can get, like, panic attacks, anxiety attacks, all that. What your body understands, what your mind understands, is what your body feels. If you tell your body this is red, it recognizes this is red. If you tell your body this is where I feel comfortable, your body recognizes it as a comfortable space. So you start to ignore the warnings that's trying to give you that this is not a comfortable space. And that's where we get messed up at. And not only that, when we allow our triggers, I saw this on a sermon not too long ago. When we allow our triggers to suffocate our obedience, our triggers become a safe space instead of our freedom becoming a safe space. That's deep if you really think about it. We allow our triggers, this is my LA Girl Pro Concealer in Chestnut. We allow our triggers to become a safe space instead of the freedom that God has waiting for us. So it's like we have things backwards in our mind, but we forget that that's not permanent. It's like that because you've conditioned yourself to be like that. through the things that you've experienced because it made it easier to deal with it. It made it easier. Drugs make not feeling easier. It's the same thing, whether it be medicinal or pharmaceutical or recreational. That's the whole point of it. The pharmaceutical drugs that people take for depression. I was on Lexapro at one time in high school. It made me feel nothing. Like literally nothing. It was like an absence of feeling. And for a long time, I smoked a lot because it gave me a similar feeling, but I still had control. Or I felt like I had control. When it comes to the pharmaceutical drugs, they directly lower certain things in your body. And it's like, for a time being, I felt unrecognizable. My emotions, I couldn't recognize my emotions because I couldn't feel my emotions. But like weed and stuff like that would amplify my emotions, but in ways that I liked. So it made me feel better, but really, I became codependent at a time because I thought that it would be better than taking the medicine because the medicine made me feel like shit. But inherently, I couldn't see that so was the weed because I didn't have control. Not like weed is bad, but like when you don't have control, your vices control you and they become so subtle in your eyes because it's so consistent. But that's more dangerous because when you're not aware of the effects anymore because you're so used to them, it's like it starts to leak into other parts of your body that you might not be ready for. I'm really not doing a lot of makeup today because I'm really about to go drive up to my mom for Easter and go see my little brother and stuff, so I'm not really in the mood to wear a lot of makeup. I'm just doing a little whoop-de-woo so I can get this video out there today because I'm trying to be more consistent. Probably be posting like 2 to 3 times every day. I mean every other day or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, and this is my opal. There's barely anything left. I'm gonna see if I can find it on Sephora or something because this is my favorite. But yeah, like I was saying, like it sucks. Healing sucks ass. Like, let's be so for real. Healing sucks. It does not feel good in the moment. But when you start to understand that everything that you deal with is to only bring you to a space, a higher space, a happier space, enduring it makes sense. Doesn't hurt less, but it makes sense. A lot of times we over amplify our feelings because that's how we perceive them to be. But sometimes it's really not that bad if you just give yourself a second. But we move so fast paced because we feel like we have to catch up with the world and everything else that we feel like we have to rush our healing journey in order to catch up with other people. But you have no idea what those other people have been through. Most people have no idea what I've been through. So it's like that fear of not getting there in time is stupid. There's no time placement on healing. Healing never ends. Healing, that's why I don't really like to necessarily, because healing is a step in it. But your whole lifelong journey, it's not like heal and then, everything is just boo, 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 boo. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you've been through a lot. Even if you haven't been through a lot. You're constantly learning and growing and evolving because that's this whole purpose, our whole life mission, our whole life purpose, to continue to grow and understand. A lot of times we think that we were just supposed to get to a point and we know everything. No, I don't know everything, for damn sure. A wise man understands that there's always more to learn. There's always more experiences to be had. As long as you breathe, as long as you have another day, another opportunity to live, you know what I'm saying? It's like, there's always more. And start looking at it from a beautiful perspective, because You should be grateful that there's always more. So if I mess up today, not like, oh, whoop-de-whoop, I'm gonna mess up because I know I have more chances. No, because that's where you mess around and you find out. God do not play like that. A lot of times we take God lightly. Don't do that. Don't do that. He's not someone to fear or be scared of, but don't do that. Because if you don't want to learn the lessons from the easier things that he's trying to help you learn that through, ba-donk. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, he's gonna drop a little whammy on you. And it's your fault. It's literally your fault. Because you could have learned the easy way, or the quote-unquote easy way. You could have just taken the steps. And I'm what's the word? Guilty. I'm guilty of doing that also when I was, you know, I mean, I'm not gonna say a little bit younger. I'm 21. Like, you know what I'm saying? But I've been through a lot. So I forget that sometimes. But when you don't want to learn the easy way, God gonna show you. And me personally, he's shown me enough that I'm just not gonna do it. If I don't have to deal with it, I'm not dealing with it. Nowadays, I give everything to God, bro. You pissing me off? I'm gonna say what I say. I say what I have to say. If you don't like it, I'm gonna just act like you don't exist. That's the thing about me. People take that stuff personally, but I'm just like, I protect my peace. 10 toes. I do not play about myself. Because I've had to learn how to not play about myself because of what I've been through. So it's like, I don't play about me at all. You come into my space, I'm very kind, I'm very graceful. I'm very loving, I'm very understanding. And that's what people mess around and find out about me. Just because I'm understanding does not mean you're about to play in my face. God does not play about me, and neither do I. So understand, going against me is not just going against me. I have a higher power behind me because of the path I've chosen in this life. Understand that. And that's what people need to understand about themselves. When you choose that, when you choose something greater than yourself, you will always be good. Because why? God's gonna always provide you the tools necessary for the journey he's laid out for you. So that's just not, even that goes into not just people playing with you, but money. That's a big thing that people worry about, especially nowadays, because, I mean, you see the rate the country's going, inflation is insane. I think at a networking event I went to like last week, the speaker, he said the inflation rate within the last couple months, mind you, like 2 to 4 months, for school food has gone up 250%. Over 2.5 times the amount. They stealing from these little kids. You think they won't steal from you too? You know what I'm saying? They stealing from these little kids. You think they won't steal from you too? That's why it's like, when you understand that all this material stuff really doesn't matter, it's really all just energy. And if that's what you want, all you have to do is take the steps that's been put in place for you to learn how to get there. It becomes a lot easier. Or it makes a lot more sense. Let me say that. It makes a lot more sense. But we always want to go, as humans, think that we know what's best. And we think that we're listening to God because whatever the case may be. But it's like, nah, babe. Nah, babe, you're listening to yourself. You're listening to ego. That's how I see the devil, as ego. You feel what I'm saying? It's when you see the devil as just this person that's just coming in your life to mess stuff up, and he be working hard, don't doubt that. But you have to also understand that if God lives within you, but you are also man, you are also flesh, your flesh, although it is a temple, can be used against you because it is not of God. Our spirit is of God, right? Like, to a certain degree, obviously. But your flesh, what does it say in the Bible? They always, talk about our bodies as the flesh because it is an entity of itself, or it's a playground that the devil can play in because it is an entity of itself, because it is also separate from God. So if you think about it, your ego as the devil, right? From this perspective, if you're listening to the ego, that is still your decision. Though it is influenced from a negative entity, it is still a decision that you are given the choice to make within yourself. But you can also choose the lighter choice, the choice that may not be easier, but will go towards a more positive outcome. And that's where people mess up at. So they blame the devil. The devil told me to do. Like, girl, bye. Boy, bye. Child. Be self-promote yourself. You feel what I'm saying? Like, so many people choose to victimize themselves instead of just growing the fuck up and dealing with their issues. That's what a lot of people don't want to do. Grow up. A lot of people think that they're grown because they're older. But I know people like 40 plus, 40, 50 plus, still acting like little kids. I know people my age, 20 plus, acting like little ass kids, overgrown ass teenagers. Grow up. And I say it with love because it's like, I get it. It's easier to move that way. But I'm not accepting that. And neither should you. Because why? You've already outgrown that stage. Why still allow it to control you? It's dumb. How can you say you want more and still do the same things that you're accustomed to doing? That has gotten you nowhere. That's what gets me. You know what I'm saying? How people will literally choose to continue to do the same things that have gotten them nowhere. And not only that, but listen to advice from people that aren't even where they want to be. Y'all in the same predicament. Y'all shitting on the same pot and can't get off. Fighting for nothing. How that work? As personally me, I want to be around people that have their own pot. You know what I'm saying? My booty don't need to go where your booty go. We got our own stuff. You know what I'm saying? But we're still growing together. I hate that I used that euphemism. But you know what I'm saying? Sometimes people just need to hear it the hard way. I try so hard to be so kind, but I don't know. I ask God every day to speak through me. Help me, allow me to be a vessel for your good. And that's why a lot of people do not like the things I be having to say. Because I understand that it's not just from me. It comes from a higher authority. So me telling you about yourself, that's God telling you about yourself, child. I'm telling you. Me telling you about yourself is God telling you about yourself. It's not because I'm on this high horse or anything, but that's a prayer that I pray every day. So why would, you know what I'm saying? Be so for real. Be so for real. But yeah, child. People just don't realize their own potential, so they allow themselves to seep into the fear of seeing everyone around them being blessed and wonder where their blessings are, and instead of holding faith and holding strong and taking that leap of faith so that God can understand that you are ready. Because if you don't take that leap of faith, how is God supposed to know that you're ready? You feel what I'm saying? Yeah, he knows your heart, but girl, you still got your own mind to make decisions with. So if you're doing the same thing, God's going to assume that you want the same thing. Do more so you can get more. Do better, be better, so you can have better. That's what I say. You know what I'm saying? That's what I say. And, these are two different eyebrows. As I said, bruh, I'm going up for Easter. I got no business caring about this. For real, I wasn't even finna do my makeup. I've been doing, like, bare face. I've just been so in love with myself lately. Because I'm just so proud of myself, bro. The more I share about my story, the more y'all understand why I'm so proud of myself. I am so powerful. I am so powerful. I have been through so much shit, and I have never allowed it to break me. Here I am. I went from, at one point, homeless to having dinners or to having lunch meetings with Forbes listed professionals. Be for real. real. I'm going to networking events. I'm really building not only just that, but I'm building my own network. I'm connecting with people. And I can do that now because I took the time to understand what I needed to learn about myself and my journey so that I might be able to use my journey for my greatest good. That's why I understand. I don't get mad when people, do things out of ego and stuff like that, because I'm like, bro, you're going to learn one day. You are going to learn one day. Clearly. You feel what I'm saying? So I'm just like, everyone has their time. Everyone has their time. That's why it's good to just let things go sometimes and let God deal with it. Because who knows your enemy better than he? Who knows? Because y'all, spiritual warfare is real. And it's not always those people, but certain entities will use those people, although it is still their decision. Don't get that chopped up. It is, when people make decisions to do whatever to you, it is their decision. But also understand that there's something greater behind the scenes happening. But a lot of people can't see outside themselves, so it's hard to see that. I've had negative entities try to attack me since I was a baby. The whole point, I'm in America today. Y'all know, I'm an immigrant. I was born in Monrovia, Liberia. Not too long after I was born, I had malaria. I almost died as a baby. And you think me, at this grown age, you're gonna be able to stop something now? Come on now. Be so for real. They've been trying to take me out since I was a babe. And you know why? Because I have a powerful purpose in this world, and so do you. Every single person has a purpose in this world. And once you find that purpose, you move differently. Things don't affect you the same. I've been prepared for this my entire life. The hate, the love, the deception, everything. I'm a vet. You a rookie. Be for real. Be so for real. God's been preparing me for this since I was a babe. Y'all can't stop nothing now that couldn't be stopped even last weekend. So be for real. But yeah, that's one trip, y'all. Man don't trip, cause God be handling my slight work. These little demons can't do nothing to me, bro. You can't do nothing to me. You can't touch me. Every single time something's about to happen, what? I'm gone. I think it was last weekend some stuff was happening. Literally. Or even this past weeks, some crazy stuff happened. Someone showed up to my crib. It was raining that day. And the same thing had happened when I had gone through a similar situation the week prior. It was raining heavy. And God always be telling me things, like I pay attention to the signs. A lot of people say that they're people of faith, but they don't pay attention to the signs. God be telling us through everything. You think God doesn't also use nature as a form of communication when it's literally all around us and literally brings life to the world? Duh. You know what I'm saying? I pay attention to the signs. I don't play. When God tells me something, I listen. Because why? He's given me the ability to do that. So why not utilize it? Why not prevent myself from, I'm going back in with the Laura Mercier powder. But why not prevent myself from dealing with stuff that I don't have to? I kid you not, someone showed up to my house. Not even 10 minutes later, I had time to pack all my clothes, everything. I had time to pack my clothes, give my dog some food, eat and chill. And then not even 10 minutes before I'm about to head on the road, I'm at the gas station, I see the person on my Ring camera. God don't play about me. And I'm not going to keep saying this. I'm not going to keep saying this. And please understand, I choose the higher route, not because I'm not fully capable of choosing a lower route. I choose a higher route because I understand God's going to handle that. If God warned me to leave, then God's going to handle that ass. So I don't trip. I don't trip. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I be warning people all the time, just leave me alone. I be telling people, just leave me alone. I don't bother nobody, bro. I'm the kindest person I know. most understanding person I know. All I be wanting is genuinity. And a lot of people can't offer that because they don't have that within themselves. They're not genuine with themselves and how they love themselves. A lot of people will throw themselves to the wolves because they don't care about themselves. They don't love themselves. And when you don't love yourself, it's hard for you to genuinely love other people. How can you love people outside yourself when you don't even love yourself? And that's the point where we have to get to. Loving ourselves. Because when you love yourself, you don't put yourself in predicaments that would harm you. When you love yourself, you don't hurt people that you know are sent in your life to help you. And that's where people mess up. Because people think that blessings only come in the form of material things because we live in a material world. But God is not of material things. God is of spirit. So blessings can come in the form of spirits, in the form of people. And that's where a lot of people mess up at. Even myself, at times, I've messed up at not valuing quality people that God has sent into my life. And now that I am that quality person, I can recognize when people are doing the same to me. And what do? I step. I don't deal with it. I don't give it no type of attention. I just leave. And some people might call it childish. I don't care. I don't. Because why? I'm taking care of myself. I don't expect nobody else to take care of myself. I take care of myself, I'm good. So I'm going to continue to take care of myself. I'm not about to entertain nothing that's not bringing me peace or understanding. If I look at a situation and it seems like there's going to be no resolve, why in the world would I continue to deal with it? That don't make no doggone sense. It don't. Why continue to put yourself in situations where you have to deal with people, places, or things that you don't want to deal with? Just don't deal with it. That doesn't mean avoid or evade your issues, but once you know you've come to a conclusion, no one else's opinion matters. Do what's best for you. Always do what's best for you. Because those other people won't be there when you need them. And you have to understand that. I had to understand that. I think for a long time, because of how I grew up, I would always be seeking for love or a familiar family type of essence outside of myself. And really, I'm my own best friend because God lives within me. God's my best friend. I don't need nobody. And that's not in the sense of, I don't appreciate people's support and their love. But the thing is, as far as really needing anyone, God supplies all of my needs. And I understand that. And he doesn't just do it just out of nowhere, but he does it in the form of people. And that's why I appreciate people so much. That's why I'm so kind and loving and forgiving, because I understand people are come in the form of blessings also. So why would I mistreat a blessing? That's dumb. That is so dumb. And not only dumb, but dangerous. Because if God has blessed you with something, you are spitting in his face. You are spitting in his face by mistreating it. And when you spit in God's face, God is a vengeful God. That's what people forget. That's God don't play. Okay? God done flooded cities before. You think he won't handle you? Be so for real, because God is not necessarily just out of its righteous anger, but it's because a lot of times we have to be broken down and stripped of everything to be able to hear his voice clearly. Because a lot of times we choose things that pile up so that we don't have to hear his voice. And someday you're gonna mess around, find out with the wrong child of God, and he's just gonna finally just bloop, bloop, bloop. Until you learn, until you fall to your feet and you come to him. I had to fall to my feet and come to him. And that's why I'm in the position that I am today. So I encourage everyone, don't let yourself get to that point where you're over here crying, God, why? Help me, help me. Because he's going to look at you like you're stupid. Because you did to yourself. Be so for real. The more we start being honest with ourselves, y'all know I love this NYX powder, this pressed powder. But anyways, the more we start being honest with ourselves, that way more, like, life just makes sense. I'm not gonna lie. A lot of stuff that be happening now, I'll just be like, that makes sense. I get why that happened. Like, stuff doesn't bother me anymore. I'm just like, okay, how can I now move in a better way so I don't have to experience that again? That's how I move nowadays. Cause I'm just like, why trip about stuff that's already handled? It happened to show me, to expose something that I needed to see. So why not just deal with it and keep it pushing? You feel what I'm saying? But yeah, y'all, I'm basically done. I'm just about to put a little blush. But yeah, y'all, spiritual warfare is real. Okay, spiritual warfare is real. Stay prayed up out here. Me, I say I'm really grateful. My dad, when we were younger, he'd make us remember Bible verses, and the one that I've always remembered, I think it was like the last one he really like had us really learn, was Psalms 23. And I'm not gonna lie, that Bible verse has saved my life so many times. People forget, like, prayer is a form of manifestation. When you're speaking to God, when you are asking God for things, obviously he's gonna like answer. So why don't we treat him like he's about to answer? We act like we're just about to ask for things. The thing is, we ask for things expecting what we want and not what we actually need. God's not just gonna send you stuff because you want it if you're not in a place to receive it. Because then you will either squander it or you will put someone else, not necessarily in danger, but disposition them because you weren't ready, qualified, or equipped to handle what you were asking for. So God's like, I'm not going to do that to my kids because you're not ready. Not because he doesn't love you, not because he's angry, but because you're simply not ready. And once we accept the fact that we're not ready, we're able to actually start learning how to equip ourselves to be ready. And I pray that over everyone. The way my life is right now, this is what I prayed for when I was a little kid. I used to really pray for God to just help me find freedom. Because I just see how the world is, and it's just, everybody lives under this false sense of freedom. Like, everyone's just faking, pretending to be happy, and they're not really happy on the inside. But I am. I am so at peace that nothing outside of me can deter that. Nothing can change that. And that's why I don't move in the ways that would reflect so. You know what I'm saying? Like, how I move now, I know that I have something greater than me, a purpose greater than me. So I move like that. I know I have people that are looking to me, not because I'm higher up or anything, but simply because I have an understanding that other people want to know. Because that's my purpose here. God sent me here to bring a different sense of understanding. Because, and not only that, but everything that I've been through has equipped me to be able to share this understanding. That's why there's no fear. Fear cannot live in a place of pure love. And that is what I have within myself. Pure, unconditional love. And that's how I treat people. And I will continue to do so. But I will no longer allow people to play in my face. Because disrespecting myself is disrespecting the Creator because he lives within me. Self-sacrifice is disrespecting myself because God lives within me. I'm trying to sacrifice God for what? For the sake of other people's benefit? No. I can't help anybody unless I am equipped and well within myself. So I'm not doing that no more. You play in my face, you're gone. I'm making it very, very simple for everyone. If you play in my face, I love you, but you're gone. You're no longer welcome here. You're no longer welcome in my space, in my energy, and this will, because I know, you feel what I'm saying? I'm a very kind person. But never mistake my kindness for weakness. I am kind because I've seen how dark this world can be, and I don't ever want to continue to put more darkness into the world. I will always continue to put more love, light, and understanding, because that is what I require within myself. And that is another reason I was brought here. To show people true unconditional love. Not I'm gonna sacrifice myself to make sure that you're happy type of love. Not I'm a choose when I love you, when it benefits me, when I'm comfortable or when it's convenient type of love. No, but that true, genuine, unconditional love, regardless of what you do, I still love you. But that does not mean I will disrespect myself or disrespect God in order to make you happy. It will not happen here. And that's something I hope and pray that everyone recognizes that is supposed to live within themselves. You know what I'm saying? That's how we are supposed to be. Yes, love, light, but protect yourself. Because you can't help others if you're allowing yourself to be harmed. That's dumb. You know, that's kind of dumb. Actually, that's very dumb. Just saying. But, yeah, no, y'all. I've been real light with the makeup nowadays. You know, vibing. But thank you guys for coming on another episode. I will be starting to reach out for more for more interviews now. I'm gonna have some financial professionals over here. I'm so excited for that because that was the whole reason I'm in school and stuff, so I'd be able to share that information with y'all, because everything I'm in school for I already know, so it's kind of pointless. Not necessarily, but like to the extent of helping myself in the ways that I choose to. Yeah. So I'm grateful that I'm actually gonna have people that already have tenure, and you know they've really been in this field for a while, and now I can really start sharing the information that not only helps with inner wellness, but to also make the steps to see your world reflect like that. Because yes, your reality is what is in your mind, but it's also comes from your decisions. So yes, you have to be mentally, spiritually well, but physically well also. But you also have to make the decisions that put you in those positions that God already has waiting for you, right? So I'm really excited that the people that I will be having on here, that God sent them to me, and we'll all just be able to continue to grow, love, and just become better versions of ourselves, for ourselves, and for the world around us, because that's what we need right now. So I love y'all. Stay blessed.